as my TikTok tribe calls me, Yag Writer. Today the topic is how to build trust with your audience. I've been going live for the past several months, and if you missed anything, thanks for joining, Annie. You can check out my YouTube channel. Some of the topics that I'll be talking about today are understanding your audience, thinking about your message and how you want to show up on the internet, how to grab people's attention, and how to build a community on the internet, which is really all most companies want to do, whether you have a team of people helping you or you're doing this alone. So I'll first start off with knowing your audience. I do talk a lot about going into the back end of your social media apps, but I'm going to talk of a little bit more simple things that you can do if you've already done that. So what I do is I take about an hour a day on Instagram, and I literally not just scour the timeline, but I take a look at all of my comments that I've been noticing for the past several weeks. And I also take a look at my direct messages, and I start reading the messages that I keep seeing. I pay attention to also what my audience is posting. I know that for myself, most of my customers have been females in 2020, but there's also a chunk of men that also come to me for different services as well. So that I can really understand who each and one of my followers are, I make sure to take a look at the content that they're sharing, because I want to know what's important to them. It's not so much just about the direct messages and the comments that they're sharing with us, but what's important to them. Sometimes I also like to join people's Instagram lives, really to get a sense of their personality, because when I'm noticing people's family trips and children and stuff like that, and these particular people come to me and they reach out to me and have questions, I can then also go back into my memory and tell them, oh, it looked like you went to the cottage last weekend. And I try to be personal and try to have a personal touch with all of my audience across all 6 social media platforms that I use, including LinkedIn and TikTok. And I'm really doing my best to study how people think. The world is changing so quickly, and with this whole era that's happening, some people are very confident about their business because they're seeing an explode of customers come in, whether they're online or they have a store, and other people are in different positions. So if you can really tune into your community, your audience, if you have an actual store or an actual location, spark some conversations with your customers and ask them, how's your family doing? How's work or business? How are you feeling? How are you feeling about the news lately? And sit and listen to people. I can sit here and say that by nature I'm introverted, but ever since I was a little girl, I always had the power of understanding people's personalities within the first 5 seconds of meeting them, because I really just love to just listen and study people and understand what their concerns are, because it makes it easier for me to start sharing better content. The reason why I myself am shifting from just focusing on social media, branding and marketing, and now going into these business development, business growth topics, is because that's what everybody is talking about. Everyone's talking about business is slow or business is picking up. Business has exploded. So I go where the attention is. So people's attention is on building a business, getting more customers, going from slow to high income revenue generating businesses. That's the topic that I'm going to go in, because I've always done that, and it's something that I didn't quite talk about. The next thing is think about your message. So literally every week I look at all of my content. I share a lot of content here, but definitely more on TikTok, for example. And even on LinkedIn, what I do is I take a step back, I take a look and I see the topics that I've been sharing, and I ask myself, do I want to switch up my topics this week because I've been kind of talking about the same things for the past 6 months, or do I want to hold on to these topics and be true to this and maybe put a spin on it? I myself, because our attention spans are very low, and because there's a lot of competition in some of the things that we offer as far as products and services, I'm going to start challenging myself to switch up my topics every week, because I know that a fresh perspective, a fresh new set of topics will actually increase opportunities. And I'll give you some examples. Just on the weekend, as you know, I added some new business development, business growth topics here on Instagram. I shared the same videos on LinkedIn. And this sales manager in the United Kingdom that has been following me, and we've been following each other on LinkedIn for quite some time, he actually went out of his time to write a list of people who talk about sales and marketing that he admires on LinkedIn. And this guy is not a 25-year-old, graduate from university. This is a man who is old enough to be my father, and he actually put me on the list of people that he recommended to his connections on LinkedIn as far as business development and sales. And I felt honored. But that's the power of switching up your topics, changing it up, and surprising your audience, is that you might actually tap into an entirely different group of people that were just kind of sitting and waiting for you to share something completely different. Also, too, here on Instagram, these same business development topics I've been sharing, and I started noticing a bit of an increase of different kinds of followers over the weekend just by switching up my topics instead of doing oversaturated topics that other people are doing as well. So I try to think about my message again. I think about the comments, the messages, what are people sharing on their social media platforms, what's important to them right now. I also like to tap into the news and take a look at this whole COVID-19 situation, and I try to think about how is this going to impact my company if this gets worse or if this disappears. And that's kind of what I do too, outside of just focusing on you, everyone who's on the line here and who's going to watch my videos after this. I try to watch the news and see what's happening in my industry. I try to study different trends and things like that so I can come with a fresh perspective of each and every one of you, And so that's how I think about my topics. I push out content. I literally write a list on a blank piece of paper. I deliver that content within a week or 2 week time. And like a scientist, I sit back on a Sunday or a Saturday when I have about 30 minutes to an hour of my time, and I ask myself, what can I do differently with these topics, just so it's fresh, something completely different that no one else is talking about, at least in my city or in my industry. Grabbing people's attention. I've been doing my best to do a lot of that. I have a very interesting strategy. Take, for example, I know you're noticing that I'm wearing a lot of pinks and reds and greens because I notice that these colors drive emotions. They make people feel a different way. Pinks make people feel soft, and blues make people feel like they can trust people. Red, that's the color of passion and love. And it just these are just the things that I literally sit around and think about. What templates can I use on YouTube or my IGTV? What colors can I use? Should I use something that pops? So everything I do, I'm trying to be like a scientist. And I know a lot of people talk about entrepreneurs and that we light out fires because we're solving people's problems, or that we're subject matter experts. Whatever you want to call yourself, own that reality and just look at everything from the colors you wear to the words you use to whether you're being enthusiastic in your videos. Should you change it up? Should you do more of that? And there's nothing wrong with testing, because grabbing people's attention comes with testing topics. I'll give you some examples. On TikTok, there's this thing called transitions, where you can literally put a timer, stop your video, and have one pose, go to the next pose, put on a pair of glasses, you put your hand like this, next thing you know, the glasses are gone. And so I'm doing little things like that on TikTok, which I will definitely share with you on Instagram Reels as the day goes by, because I know that TikTok, the attention span is quick. So for every platform that I use, whether it's a YouTube video or it's here on Instagram or I'm sending out a blog and I'm literally writing in my email with my blog link in that email, I'm thinking, how can I grab people's attention so they can open this email? How can I grab people's attention so they can click on this video or click my link in bio to see more of the content that they haven't seen me share here on Instagram in the past couple of months? So try to think about how you can grab people's attentions. Again, I'll recap with the colors, the words that you use, excitement in your video, your enthusiasm. Are you going to have shorter sentences? Are you going to try to point to different things and put GIFs in your stories? Those are the kind of things that you want to think about every day. Community building. So I really love community building because it's a great way to show your audience that you care. Hey, thanks for joining Bridges and Tech. So when you're building your community on the internet, try to think about different contests that you can do. I personally like to do contests once a month just to show people that I care. For example, every time I launch a new business show, I started from the Edmonton business show, hey, and now I'm doing the Alberta business show. And so what I did, instead of going into my DMs and reaching out to people that live here in my province, and if anyone on the line is in the US, we call provinces states, so to say. I just put out a little template that I did for free on Canva, and I said, hey everybody, I'm going to be launching the Alberta Business Show. Tag a company in the thing in your comment and let me know who you want to see on my show. Before that, I did another online community contest where I actually talked to somebody for 20 minutes and I gave them branding consulting tips and advice. But the contest, it was a nice little GIF. I had some kind of like diamonds poking out. And the part of the contest was for people to let me know a recent business success story that they experienced. And I wanted to do that because I do care about what people are going through right now. And about 2 or 3 people participated, and I chose one person. I spoke for her to 20 minutes, and she was just delighted because I could hear there was some tense. She sounded tense because she's like, is she really going to sit here with me for free and tell me tips and advice? And she was very, very happy. So try to come up with free contests that you can do, whether it's giving somebody a $10 gift card to come into your store, whether you are going to let someone come into your store and maybe you give them feedback for a good 5 or 10, 15-minute chat, and then maybe they can choose whether they want to work with you or buy some of your products or your services and leave. Try to have a community contest going on at least once a month. It will definitely be good for DMs. Try to encourage people to tag other entrepreneurs or people that might be interested in what it is that you have to offer, and that will also potentially drive attention to your page and increase your followers. Other ways that you can build with your community is going live, or even if you have some kind of thing that's going on, like an employee engagement, just go live, like an employee lunch or something like that, or maybe you and your team are out for lunch. Hey, just sporadically go live. I remember here in my city, they had the first black market in my city. I went there by myself. I was going to meet 2 of my friends, and they came a little later. And I ended up bumping into someone that follows me here in my city, and she literally went live while we were waiting in the line to get into this event. And it caught me off guard, but those are like the kind of things that you can do, is just unexpectedly just go live and show people different parts of what you're doing, or schedule. Hey, everybody, I'm going to my vendors or suppliers warehouse. I'm going to be picking up some products and services. Join me as I go live. Let me know what products and services that you think would be good. I'm going to be in my vendor store. Let me know if pink, and just kind of have fun. What looks better, pink or yellow, green or blue? And just kind of do these community building things because it makes people feel good. Something that I also like to experience and also do as well is giving recognition to people. And one of the best ways that I do that really is just having people on my lives, and even just tagging people in my stories if I see a beautiful piece of art, or somebody just started a business and they only have 25 followers, but I can see that down the line, if they're persistent, that they will be successful. It's just the little things like that that really build a community and help people to feel as if you care about them and you have their best interest in mind. I'm going to open the floor for some questions. I know it's Labor Day. I hope you and your family are enjoying yourself, Annie, or anybody else who's here on the line. Tomorrow I'm going to be most likely talking about how to do business development and fun and exciting ways to grow some of your customers, try to get some of your followers into new customers, etc., and try to think of creative ways to really just stand outside of the box that people are not really doing right now. A big part of my whole campaign for the next 3 months is continue to go live with people that I admire or people that I've worked with. From a service or product perspective, I have way more content coming on business development. That's going to be my new thing. Hi, thank you so much for joining. Today's topic was how to build trust with your audience. We kind of went through all of the points here, but I'm definitely open to answer any questions. But I'll let you know some of the topics that we went through: knowing your audience, thinking about your message, grabbing people's attention, whether it's with a photo or a video, community building. That includes like contests, going live with your audience, and recognizing some of your followers and things of that nature. I can go on for another 5 minutes if I don't see any questions in the comments here. I think really also what we need to do we can easily look in the back of our insights here on Instagram and take a look and see what percentage, if you click on your followers, Instagram shows you the percentage of men and women that are following you and where they're located. I can tell you for myself, 45% of my followers are women. The remaining are actually men. Most of my followers are in Edmonton, Calgary, Toronto, and I think New York or Vancouver. And then a small percentage are in New York City. So I know already how Americans think, and I already know how Eastern and Western Canadians think. So that's why I'm sharing a lot of different content, trying to make it easy for everybody to understand, and having fun at the same time by sharing some of my TikTok videos here on Instagram. I really think it's a great time now that we have some time to actually have access to the internet. It gives us an opportunity to have access to the people that are following us. And if we just take 30 minutes to an hour of our time every day, on Instagram especially, and just really pay attention to what people are posting and paying attention to the analytics, like literally clicking view insights on your videos and photos and seeing how many impressions. So I can get into some techie kind of stuff. So impressions basically means how many people Instagram was able to share your information with. And then you want to take a look who's bookmarking your content or how many people shared your video or your photo. Shareable content is really, really important. I started doing that a couple of months ago, and shareable content just basically means going on a free app like canva.com and taking a nice template and putting some text on it. It could be educational content, tips and advice for people that most likely will buy your products and services, and trying to share that education, because we all know that when we go into a store or a restaurant that we've never been in before, I'm very picky about my food. So if I go into a restaurant, the first thing I'm asking is, if it's in a different language, what does that mean? Is that snail? Is that fish? Is that chicken? What does that mean? How does it taste? What kind of ingredients are in there? So when you're thinking about your templates, so that you can create shareable content, try to think about the frequently asked questions that people ask you about your products and services, and try to just answer that in some shareable content. And that should definitely help you with getting your information and your brand out there in a way that you probably wouldn't have if you hadn't done it. I'm going to be laying back on shareable content and doing more videos like I did when COVID-19 era started, because although people are sharing, the branding mistakes and all the photo kind of text that I'm doing, I'm finding that the videos every day, the 3 videos that I'm doing every day, it's building way more trust with my audience. And I'm not concerned about shareable content right now, because when I used to share nothing but videos on IGTV and TikTok videos, people were sharing my TikTok videos. So I can either do videos or I can do the shareable content. But if you're not comfortable with doing videos and the amount of times that I do every day, definitely check out canva.com, canva.com. It's free. If you do use some of the stock photos, there will be a watermark with the logo on it, and you'll have to pay to get some of those free stock photos. You can also use free stock photos on unsplash.com. I use that all the time for photos in my blogs, and they're really high quality photos. They have a search engine, so whatever it is that you're looking for, food, clothing, Brazilian wax, whatever, it's all going to be found in there. And so I know I've been here for a bit. I don't have any questions here, but have no fear. I'm going to continue to go live. I've been doing this for the past 2 months. I call it the Instagram Live Marathon, and I'm going to be going live Monday through Friday at the same time, 7 p.m. our time. If you're on the East Coast, that's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Showing up, answering questions. After this marathon ends, I'm only going to be going live every Monday and Friday. Mondays will just pretty much be like an actual topic and I do a presentation, and then Fridays will be, bring your questions and I'll answer any kind of questions that you have about things I share or problems that you're going through in your business. I really want to thank each and every one of you for showing up tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this video on IGTV, and I'm going to keep it there. And if you want to watch more videos of Instagram Lives that are not here on my Instagram TV, you can check out my YouTube channel, and you're more than welcome to ask any questions that you have along the way. But again, my new topics moving forward, I'm going to get off of social media, stay away from the marketing and branding, and just talk about business development, because it's something that I've been helping companies with for the past 6 years, but I was never really talking about it. But I'm realizing now more people need to know how to drive sales to their website, drive sales to their social media pages. And it's very, very easy to do. It's just like relationships and just like cooking and cleaning and raising children. There is a formula to success for everything in life. If you know that formula and you are committed to the process, there's no way that you can lose. And I want to help you get there. So I'm going to close out tonight. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. I really appreciate your support and everything else like that. And I look forward to seeing your content soon. I hope you have a good night. Take care. Bye.